Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Last time, we finished up the investigation. Edgeworth did a good job of breaking Iris's psyche locks and broke some of Laurice's. But apparently he's hiding a little more from us. Let's get to the bottom of that in court, shall we? Oh my, Mr. Laurice feels that way about me? Apparently. Isn't aware of your real secret at all. Taking off these headphones, they're being a little annoying. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. What? Worry not. And in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Laurice is the witness today? No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini? She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Dunham, correct? That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well, then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed... Don't worry. I've made the necessary arrangements. I see. Iris? It is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I'm a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth, I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I've been entrusted. Very well, sir. I'll leave my defense in your capable hands. So, who's gonna be... Alright, we're probably gonna have Canadian judge. Are they really gonna have, The only prosecutor I can think of is Von Karma. Because Payne, unless they intimidate Payne into, like, complying, he's weak enough to do so. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. This is so bizarre. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I'm ready to announce my verdict at this time. The court finds the defendant... Yep. Why couldn't she just let it happen? The prosecution stands ready. And you are? Franziska Von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. Von Karma, you say? Perchance, you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred Von Karma. I miss her so much. Legends are a thing of the past. I am a Von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case. You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss Von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't? But I'm sure, once before in this courtroom... I told you, there is no such weakling.
What is that, a whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip at... Wow. I like how this judge is trying to be more about his business other than, regular judge. I have no objection to the whip. You don't?
The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today.
Oh god. 2 accents. 2 accents. Oh, this is going to be awful.
This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers.
I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court.
The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor.
Very well, Miss Von Karma. Please give an outline of this case. With as little whipping as possible.
The murder victim is the famed picture book author Miss Elise Dunham. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue.
The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene.
Crime photo added to the court record. Hold on there, laddies. We gotta check that there out, yo.
Wow.
Okay, that is rough. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to her crime.
Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand.
And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney.
Oh my god.
Witness, state your name and occupation, please.
Oh, hold on here. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight.
Oh my god. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain-plagued witness.
Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please.
Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me? Well, I'm the head nun of Hazagura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini! Nice to meet everyone.
But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now.
What? The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once.
You want me to leave?
No need to get your bikinis in a twist, let me tell you. I'm a sight to behold in summer. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There is no way dear little Iris could do anything like that.
Let us hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about your own movements that... Oh my god. About your own movements that night, eh? They're really leaning into it now. Night of the murder.
That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up. Violently. So, I left Iris to help the acolyte and return to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath in the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long, hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it.
So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple.
Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. Sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? She didn't say Mr., but... Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. The night of the murder. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in her temple, but... no, that's not a lie. Edgeworth would not beat around the bush. He would get right to the point. I returned to Hazakura Temple, bathed the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. Let me go over that there evidence again. Well, okay, maybe we don't know if she's lying about that. A hot soak, because after I finished this, I was heading back. That's when I saw it. Do we have testimony from you? Wow, actually, I might have to press on everything. Because I'm not seeing anything. What is this in a temple? Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? We'll be the ones asking you the questions, madam. In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. What was with that peak in my voice? And how exactly do you help with this process? It's all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip, in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple, where the murder took place? Then her back likes to act up violently. Violently? That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. The night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right. Raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off. With Iris to help the acolyte return to the temple. You left Iris to help. With what? What do you think? The acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolytes so they don't pass away. Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the inner temple, correct? Yes, she's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions. Well... Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-doo. Wait, oh man, yeah. She never went. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hazakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No! She said that? A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. You're not helping your own case here, Edgeworth, but okay. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. Well, all people lie. That is my belief. She's not wrong. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means we must call your memory into question. Dear, dear, dear. You're older than me and yet you want to play that game, do you? Well, that isn't exactly what I... My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. Please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. And let us return to the cross-examination. I was helping an acolyte. See, Beck likes to act up violently. As came to Inner Temple, she was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner. Are you sure that you're not making a mistake? You, young man, need to get your estimation of me up from the floor. Iris always wears the same clothes. The smallest thing out of place would have stood out like a sore thumb to me. You're making a mistake. Thinking I made a mistake. An excellent finish there, witness. Still, I have to wonder. Yeah, because she had been at dinner before the lights out bell. Got him! Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon-warding hood, correct? Of course! That's a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wait a minute. Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Well, well, well! Oh my god, she actually is standing on light crates. It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. I don't understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Or is that relief? Order! Order in the court! Witness your response! Sister? This hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see. Stockpile. Surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. This is quite strange. What? There was a surplus of hoods and she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Is that a euphemism? Contradictory stimulation. Are they making this part like a little on the easy side due to the fact that like we're using Edgeworth and he's leaps and bounds more competent than Phoenix Wright? I mean, that's not a slight on Phoenix. Like, that's kind of like the games have ingrained that. There have been many a time that Phoenix flew by the seat of his pants into victory. Anyway, after her bath, I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and... Iris was... Oh, Miss Calise! And with that sword of all things, Mr. Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window.
You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Or, well, something like that.
This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine. Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? After my bath. Also, this is like this coming around full circle. Their little rivalry. And okay. I finished my bath around 11 and I thought I should return to the inner temple. As I was walking back... Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. Finished my bath around 11. Should return to the inner temple. Back heard a noise from the courtyard. Took a look and Iris was... Oh, Miss Galeese with that sword of all things. Mr. Galeese was staying in the corner room, which faces out into the courtyard. Stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of the window. Do I have anything on that? Yeah, body fell 10... After death. Well, well. What makes you so sure of all this? It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Thump, just like that. You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height.
It appears that the witness was not mistaken then.
Yep, I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hazakura Temple. There's only 2 of them working there. What's wrong, Miles Edgeworth? No snappy comeback remark. It doesn't feel like she is lying. This is very powerful testimony, too. She claims to have seen the instant in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are only 2 things I can believe in right now. My client, Iris, and my own abilities as a defense attorney. But you're not a defense attorney. But I like how even when he's mulling it over to himself. Like, no help here. Alright, after she was pushed out the window. But, bow. Get him! Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say anyway. Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. That's right. It says after death right here. The scene... Oh my god. Alright, wait. One moment. I need water. Alright, don't know what happened there. Anyway. The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. The defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard. How did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was then thrown out of the window down into the courtyard below. Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Dunham's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That will leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? What? No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your weapons just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard.
However, there was no blood in the room. Your claim that... What? I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure Your Honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood? Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. That is actually really good logic. Like, if it was a slice, then yeah, okay, there would be blood, but a stab, not wrong. And that's why, like, if you ever get, like, impaled with something or, like, stabbed, if you can keep the thing that pierced your skin inside you, that would be the best bet. I mean, you're still going to be losing blood, but that can help prevent an infection and from causing you to lose even more blood. Just saying. Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. See? That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. So, I mean, depending on the sword, like, even with the stab, there would still be some blood. Well, okay, with all that she was wearing, it could have been covered. And then immediately tossing her out, you can prevent, like, blood from dripping. Yeah, oh, okay. It all checks out. Plus, I'm also, like, thinking of that one case of, There was, like, this guy, it was, like, a famous psychological case where, like, I want to say, like, it was either a railroad spike or a long metal rod, whatever it was, it went through his skull and was, like, lodged there. Like, the doctors had to, like, surgically remove it, but because it was, like, still lodged, he wasn't bleeding out or anything, and he actually lived. But after the fact, like, his entire personality changed. And I think he had, like, some semblance of amnesia, too. It's weird, like, he became literally an entirely different person. Like, different memories and everything. I cannot remember the name of the patient, though, but we talked about it in one of my psychology classes. Interesting stuff. But that's a sidetrack for a whole nother thing, like talking about, oh, the fact that he lived, and then talking about the whole psychological aspect. Reel it back to Phoenix Wright. We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all the contradictions. Order, order, order. Must admit that this is a probable version of events. I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. Humph. It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please, remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. Wait, yeah, away from the mic. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please, give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. With the whip? Oh boy. Alright, alright. Further details. Her serious face, though. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? When I awoke, Mr. Gami was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me.
You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska von Karma, and I'm here to teach you just that. Alright, further details. I did not see much contradiction in this. Didn't actually see her stab her, though. She's never seen so much blood. That's when you fainted. Press on everything. At the time, was the victim bleeding? Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course. So I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood. Not then. I'm sure that you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound. In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed? Okay, well then, let's press on that. Think carefully, this is very important. It's Iris we're talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. No, I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elisa's body. Might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles... I was about to say Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Because she always says Mr. Phoenix Wright. Oh, but wait, if it was acting as a plug, then how... So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it splattered into Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room. And her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner. What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well. It seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Press this point further? Yeah, go ahead. Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. Thank you. Brought this up. You said it acted as a plug yourself, but now you say you saw the victim bleeding. Well, well. I say that what I saw is what I saw. Well, what did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day. Pulling the sword out? Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out. Witness, you will add the statement to your testimony. Oh, was that important? More important than you can imagine. Well, the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt. Wait, plunged into the hilt? Was smoothly drawn all the way to the hilt? What? The sword all the way to the hilt? No. Oh, but then they say, well, no, this is the murder weapon. So they say Ami was holding it. No. Oh yeah, I know what I'm presenting here. Smoothly, you say. You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out. That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Ami. Mystic Elise was on the ground and Iris was stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt. When Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out of Mystic Elise's body. It slid out from that gaping wound. It goes without saying that if the sword was removed, there would be bleeding. Nothing out of place here. Is that really the case? Can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't possibly have happened appears to have happened. Yeah. Yeah. If it's not this, I'm going to be pretty freaking upset. Let me just make sure. Why am I looking at that? That tells me nothing. Weather data, no. Photo of Elise, no. No. Crime photo.
Do I present the crime photo or the sword itself? I'm just gonna go ahead and do a wrong button there. Safety save. This is literally like just a safety save. I'm not gonna save scum, but like just in case I game over and I don't start all the way from the beginning. Though the fast forward text isn't that bad in this game. To the hilt. Yep. Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. Hey, I didn't need that safety save after all. At least I'd like to think so, but there are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain. Explain yourself. To start with... Oh my god, yep, I'm mixing up the accents. To start with, you'd think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this. No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble. I, too, may appear to be weak and frail. But I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, should I so choose. Fucking queen. The objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit. That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. Certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. That's... We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in the body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound will be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. Thank you. That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the Skizishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss. I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction. You've still got more. This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust in all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? Got him. If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. No. Order. Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could make, or maybe manage one, if that. But what does this all mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can be only one answer. And that is... the weapon used to kill the victim was not the Skizishito. What? A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think the sword was the murder weapon? Well, it's because Mr. Gami was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Skizishito was the murder weapon. Order! So maybe the Skizishito was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. Sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. That's... Answer the question, Miss Von Karma. No evidence of that kind was found. Another mystery to throw into the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible. And just maybe, what actually happened was, it was just over there. What exactly are you going on about here? The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe. I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. You what? Well then. I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible. What else? What else could this old woman have seen? Oh, now he's being thrown off his game. He was so sure of himself, too. I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there I saw tracks. Tracks that indicate the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. Witness, please tell us everything you knew right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of shape. Oh, my back and my age, you know. Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph. Look at this graph. A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, certainly is an interesting theory. The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. I need to look at those again. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? Why do the footprints start right there? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. She'll really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon. We have perfectly good fire right there. Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. Alright, gonna do a quick skim. Alright, didn't see anything simple, so we're just gonna press on everything. You're sure about the time? Yes, I was worried about it after all. Why was that? Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night now, could I? So at 11 I decided to leave Hazakura Temple. Estimation of the time seems reliable, at least. Please continue, sister. Okay, main gate. Hold it. You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct? Right. The one who trampled me. Seems she is the type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Phoenix Wright. He didn't even have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home, apparently. What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand, too. Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell. And that's where she saw them. As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it. That's the only one we have.
It'll run no matter how much snow falls. Now you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So, she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time? I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? Let me make sure of something. Just getting an idea of where everything is. Yeah, press further. Need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at that time? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, eh? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used. Ah, I see. I never thought of that. That's right. Overlooked that too. Of course you did. And answer the question, please, witness. I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it. It seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh? How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile? Alright, let's press on this. In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking. Ah, there's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain? I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I'd fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch. Crunch. I haven't been able to find the courage to write anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it. No, it's not covered in snow there. Just keep pressing then, I guess. Hopefully I remember to mute that. I hit the mic pretty hard there. Refresh our memory. How long were you knocked out for? Like I said, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes. It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile. To concede that is more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth? Alright, press this. Well, it would have been possible, time-wise. One element remains out of place here. Oh? What would this mystery element be? The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are no other methods? Too many unanswered questions. Response, Miss Von Karma? What? Turning to me for help only... Oh, sorry. Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself for... Oh my freaking god. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor? What? She's over the top as always. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Turning mystery to feed the fire. Is there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there is surely a problem with this testimony. All I have to do is start poking holes in his flawed account. Dang, I don't know. It's been about a full day since I last read through this testimony. like what you're hearing right now is a different recording session from whatever I was saying in the previous little segment. I was kind of falling asleep up on the end and speaking nonsense, so I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna quit while I'm ahead. I wanted to get this first part of the trial done, you know, but hey, cooler heads had to prevail, and I just went ahead and just decided to do another recording session. But anyway, I'm noticing a couple things going back through this evidence that has me a little suspicious. I'll get into it later, but I noticed something pretty big that's not relevant at all to what's being discussed right now. So that's probably going to be my ace in the hole for later. But also, now I'm just kind of looking, because they were talking about the snow, like there were tracks in the snow from where the snowmobile was going, but I don't know, like you don't see the tracks over the footprints. So for all we know, those footprints could have come before the snowmobile and it just ran over them. But also what has me a little curious is the weather data. How it was snowing from 7 to approximately 10:50. I don't know. I'm just gonna continue to mull this over, because I'm leaning towards having to use the weather data or the tracks photo for this, but I could be wrong. The fact that you can press harder on this too also has me suspicious, but I obtain no clues from that. She saw the murder at around 11. And she was knocked out for 10 to 20 minutes. Street to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, sure, the problem with this testimony, all I have to do is start poking holes. Oh my god. I'm stuck here. I hate having to do like, oh, this is a random guess, but I'm going to present this, because yeah, they said like also the fact that the engine might have been running, it caused the snow that was on it to melt, and yeah, that looks clearly different from the well, it's not evidence, so I can't show it off here, but a picture of the snowmobile they showed earlier where there was snow on top of it. But I really think those footprints are important. Nope, guess not. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't accept that. Well done, Your Honor. What? I was only testing you just now. Oh my god. Well then, why don't you try testing this penalty too? Looks like I shouldn't have spoken in haste. Alright, that's on me. Oh my god, what do I do here? I mean, there's also the fact that Franziska sort of has like that little stutter right there. The murder weapon. I mean, that could be the other aspect of it, or not aspect, thing that I would have to present on, like the contradiction. Well, that wouldn't necessarily be the other contradiction, but let me see. Wait, yeah, like, if everything took place at Heavenly Hall, why even go to the main gate to get the snow? Wait. The main gate indicated the snowmobile had been used. 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Oh no, Heavenly Hall was where Larry was at. Never mind. But still, why go out of your way? The logistics of that seem off. And I still think like the footprints are going to be an important thing too. But then she's also saying a lot of things that are just pure conjecture. Okay, saw the murder at around 11. We can't really do anything with that. We do know she reported it to Phoenix. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. We kind of determined that. This is also a fact that's stated. This is when we get into conjecture territory. Maybe they threw the weapon and came back while I was knocked out. But this is the only one that's making a statement. This is like a question of possibility. This one is making a statement. But they're asking why. Like, what would be the reason for this? I don't know. Or maybe I have the geography incorrect? No, those footprints are clearly walking. Okay, so they're walking. Okay, so maybe from this angle, what I'm looking at is the outside, and we're technically inside the courtyard. But regardless, there was fresh snow there that had fallen. We know that. Yeah, I guess if I do assume that the footprints were there, but then the snowmobile covered them up. But no, she said she saw that the snowmobile was there. But then the grooves. Well, regardless, we know that these footprints are going to be from Bikini. And there's no other footprints that lead to the snowmobile. So we're going. So maybe my original idea was correct, because there's no other footprints in the snow, and we know at the very least Bikini came through here. I'll give that a shot. Oh wow. Okay, I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accept the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? There we go. Oh, wait. Oh no, snowmobile tracks. That's right. Because if it pulled off, it would go in front. But then we have the fresh snow there. I mean, and considering it was snowing from 7 to 10:50, that's almost 4 hours of snow. But then, no, that wouldn't even work, because they're thinking that the snowmobile was used in the time frame that she was out. So no, there should be another set of tracks there. Okay, I thought he was talking about footprints. But the snowmobile tracks can also work too. What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge and those from coming back. Ah, you're right. Humph. You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. Oh yeah, I thought about that, and I have a counterpoint to that. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks? There is a contradiction. The tracks of the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain why there is a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction? I gotta use that line. That is actually a good one. No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks are not covered by snow. Bada bing. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed a crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course. This means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. I like how she just milli rocks every time she's like, her logic is just picked apart. Order! Very well then. Looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Yeah! Okay, no, this is not time for CSI Miami. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this, then. When is a weather report even correct? Ah, no, you've got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. He's not wrong. This judge is way more competent than regular judge. Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. It's true, we cannot be totally sure, eh? What? How did she pull that off? This judge's just afraid of getting whipped, but he had that logic all on his own. He wasn't even guided there. Regular judge would never do that. Can your judge do that? I'm screwing up the pun. Or, not pun, joke. It's like, can your man crush Monday do this? Or can your wife crush Wednesday do this? And okay, I'm awful, alright, at trying to, like, force jokes in, forgive me. It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. We've come this far. There's no turning back now. Very well. I, too, cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning the testimony. Ha! You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Ooh, God, that's 3 segments.
Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? I just want to make sure. No. Not that photo. This photo. Because if it was still snowing, she would be covered in snow. She would be covered in snow. Even if her body was left there, she should be covered. She is not covered in snow. Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception. And that is the victim herself, Miss Elise Dunham. Dunham. However you pronounce her name. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed. That's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph, there should be 2 sets of tracks. Got her. Order! Order! Just what are you... Yeah. Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I am not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all of the facts point to. That night, someone used a snowmobile to leave Hazakura. Oh, that's where the main gate... Ooh, I thought it was at the far left of the screen where that road is coming in. Oh, then had I not got hung up on that, I probably would have figured that snowmobile track thing out way sooner. Because I thought for sure the far left was where the main gate was. But I guess it's the main gate to Hazakura Temple. Plus, I mean, this doesn't have to be entirely to scale. Oh, okay. Alright. That's on me. Leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. Which can only mean, that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right. But what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. But that isn't possible. There are 2 snowmobiles? Order! Order! Order in the court! What does this all mean? So then what was the snowmobile used for?
It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. Never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Yes, I've nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know. But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking, perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Am I screwing up her voice? I don't know. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. An idiot? Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night. Wow, me and Edgeworth think the same here. That would explain why I'm doing a lot better on his trial than I was on any one of Phoenix's. No, I mean, I think there was like one first part of a trial where I was getting like no damage or took only damage once. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us. Really? You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are 2 things about him that do come to mind. Which are, first, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being, this individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? I love that this is actually what we're doing here. Alright, yeah, cool. Got him! This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc de Ladoux's... Oh my god, wait. Oh, well, no, that wouldn't be Ladou. Jean-Luc de Ladoux's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, Elise Denham. Her student? Interesting. Why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was, perhaps, searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him, right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well, Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. And that recess will end next time. Alright, so yeah, might as well go ahead and save. And no, this was not me save scumming. As you can see, they're only like 7 minutes apart, but they actually start up at the same time. It's like, this game does not lock the mouse when you're using controller and vice versa. I guess I've been spoiled on Halo or other games that'll like lock you in or at least show you some indication when you're going back and forth between like mouse and controller. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to show it here. Yeah, like that's me just using the mouse and then just using controller. It's like instantaneous. It's so weird. Oh wow, the scroll wheel works too. Huh. Okay, I don't know why I was wasting so much time on that, but yeah, next time Larry takes the stand. I can't wait to knock him down a peg or two. Thank you all for watching. Well, I say that like he's not already like buried deep in the dirt, but whatever. I just want to see him squirm. See you all next time for some more Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Goodbye. And seriously, like, it's so weird that like you can just click in and like I don't want to risk it right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead, do my save. I have a backup, so I mean, like, oh, okay, yeah, but like, okay, this is me using the controller, and then I'm gonna like, oh no, I accidentally clicked in, and that's slot 10 right there, even though the cursor for the controller was up here. It's so weird how like easy it is to screw that up. Why am I wasting so much time just talking about the controller configuration for this game? Yeah, okay, I don't know. I guess I'm super tired again. I mean, the fact that it's also 2 a.m. isn't really helping. Whatever, I'm about to go to sleep now. Goodbye.